Up next, everyone, please join me in extending a very warm welcome to our next esteemed speaker, Mr. Rajat Sakhuja, the manager of blockchain and digital assets at Mastercard. Mr. Rajat is responsible for the commercialization of blockchain and crypto products at Mastercard for Eastern Europe, Middle East, and Africa region. Please put your hands together in a resounding round of applause, welcoming him on stage.
Hi, good morning, good afternoon, everyone. Can everybody hear me okay? Is this fine? Perfect, thank you. Right, so I'm Rajat. I am based in Dubai. I look after commercialization and product development in Mastercard. Most of you know Mastercard as the card that's sitting in your pocket, probably, or in your Apple, Samsung, one of these wallets. Well, interestingly enough, we are actually quite invested in the space of blockchain and crypto. We might be working with some of you, we might be working with your colleagues in different parts of the world, and the idea is, you know Mastercard as somebody that does card payments, and we do it well, right? We make card payments safe, secure, and compliant. Our focus in the world of blockchain is to bring the same level of safety, security, and trust in the crypto space as well. And how we're doing that is predominantly based on three foundational principles: stability, consumer protections, and regulatory compliance. I'm not necessarily go into one of these or any of these because my esteemed colleagues and speakers before me have done a really good job of that. So today I'm going to focus on bringing some of the insights that Mastercard sees the space, in the way we see the space growing, and the things we are doing in this space. It's predominantly based on four key pillars. First, foremost, you might have seen, used, or heard about the crypto cards. The idea is we take your crypto wallet, attach a card to it, and just like that, you can use the crypto sitting in your custodial or wallet for everyday purchases. Now, that's quite transformative. Back in the day, at least when I started investing in crypto, it wasn't just difficult to get money into crypto, but what was more difficult was the ability to get the money out of it. And you would be doing it in chunks. You wouldn't be doing it for a 20-dirham coffee at Starbucks or the local grocery store right next to you. But what the crypto cards do is the ability for you as a customer who's holding a card to be able to spend that crypto, whether it's a transaction of 1 dirham or thousands of dirham. It doesn't necessarily matter. Interestingly enough, merchants don't need to set up new infrastructure for this, right? Now, with their existing POS terminals, they can accept crypto, and they still can get the option of getting settled in fiat. And it simplifies regulatory compliance, right? Now, this was the first product, the product which is predominantly most famous in the market, I would say. But those of you who've been following us or have been working with us would have seen that in the last few years, we've expanded considerably in this space. We went from helping organizations do on-ramp and off-ramp in the crypto world, then going into the weeds of it. Starting with extending our services. We have a dedicated set of advisors that understand the financial payments industry, the financial services industry, and the blockchain industry. Now, what that means is for somebody who's trying to get into the world of crypto, blockchain, you now have advisors within Mastercard that can come and work with you and help solve the problems that you are currently facing, or potentially build a roadmap as well for you. That was advisors. A couple of years ago, Mastercard acquired a company called CipherTrace, which is in the world of blockchain analytics and VASP information. Essentially, this is something that we use internally and also help our clients, our customers, exchanges, banks use, and in fact, government agencies and law enforcement as well, use to help bring that security angle of blockchain payments and what's happening in on-chain payments. Going forward, we recently announced Crypto Source. The idea is pretty simple. You as a bank, a fintech, a telco, anybody in the industry could now enable your customers to be able to buy, sell, hold crypto by leveraging our APIs. And on the back end, we work with trusted partners, partners that we vetted, we've onboarded onto this platform, and you as an endpoint, you can continue managing your customers, and you work with us and our partners to enable buy, sell, hold capabilities. Going on, we then forayed into the world of bringing these payment tokens, cryptocurrencies, CBDCs onto our network. Now, us as Mastercard, we've been accepting stablecoin as a means of settlement. Those of you who understand payments and have probably seen how card networks work, there's something called a settlement that you have to do with card networks. We've been accepting stablecoin for almost a year, probably over a year now. Now, what we did beyond that is that we're not just accepting stablecoins as a means of settlement currency, but we're natively working on bringing it onto our networks. So today, what I mean by that is today, fiat moves through Mastercard rails. In the future, in the near future, we're looking at stablecoins, CBDCs, and other stable currencies flowing through our network natively. And that's where the native crypto payments come onto the world of Mastercard. Additionally, one of the biggest things that we've done in the last, I would say, 12 months is twofold. One is bringing a level of KYC sort of compliance, but without necessarily managing customers. Now, let me unwrap that a little bit for you. Crypto credential. The idea is we provide KYC standards and principles, which is what Mastercard does. Our partners follow those standards, and these are usually exchanges or other WASPs, follow these standards. Now, if a customer, let's say you're an exchange X, and you have certain KYC standards in place. Now, you take our principles, you match them to your KYC standards, and if these do go hand in hand, essentially what you now have a customer that you can onboard onto the crypto credential. What essentially is crypto credential? Two things. One, it's the ability for you to get an alias. Today, your wallets are 16, 32, whatever, depending on the wallet that you're using and the blockchain it is based on. It's a mix of digits and numbers, right? Now, imagine instead of you having to key in those numbers every time you're making a transaction, you key in, let's say I'm Rajat, I am registered with Exchange X. I did my KYC, and this KYC meets the standards of crypto credential. Now, when I am making a transaction or you're sending a transaction to me, you don't have to put in my wallet address. You could just say rajat.mastercard.exchangex. Now, that's transformation, right? Now, customers have simplicity in making this transaction. They don't have to understand or remember what the wallet address is. They can use an alias service to do this. Additionally, what happens is we prevent transactions from getting lost, which is very common. Now, if we're talking about bringing the next billion into the crypto industry, we have to remember not everybody understands the Web3 world as most of the people in this room do. And we have to make it simple enough for them to be able to get onboarded into this world. Now, with this crypto credential, what essentially happens is when you make a transaction, imagine you're sending me Ethereum, and my wallet is not compatible with Ethereum, it's going to actually say this transaction cannot go forward. So there's no permanent loss of funds in this case. Additionally, the final piece in crypto credential is built on providing the right set of participants access to services. Now, imagine a scenario where I'm a bank and I'm working in the field of blockchain, crypto, but I don't want the entire set of public blockchain addresses to operate on my network, right? Like financial institutions, that's something very important. You don't want somebody who you don't trust or have KYC to be playing on your network. Crypto credential allows KYC'd individuals that you have whitelisted, so sort of building a secure enclave to play in that particular space. And that's what we started with. We leveraged this crypto credential in our multi-token network. What is the token network? Now, Mastercard is known for card rails and our card network. The multi-token network, think of it as our network for the blockchain. Now, we're not building our token, and at least as how I see it, based on the current strategy, we're not going to build our token. What we do want to do is provide scalable means of value exchange on the blockchain for stable and regulated assets. Let's unwrap a little bit. You've got CBDCs, you've got stable coins, you've got private coins, you've got hundreds of public chain, blockchain cryptos out there in the world. How do we enable these different forms of money to be interoperable? And that's what our idea is with the multi-token network. So we provide the ability for these stable coins, which are regulated, so to speak. Let's take an example which is actually live and we tested and I can speak about. Let's take a CBDC that was issued by the Australian Central Bank. I've got CBDC, but I want to buy NFTs, and those of you who've also tried foraying into the world of NFTs do understand it's not the easiest. You have to first buy whatever NFT, let's say it's one of the NFT marketplaces that accepts Ethereum. You have to open MetaMask, you have to load your MetaMask with Ethereum, you have to connect it, and then you have to go and buy. You've got 100 steps before you can get your hands on the NFT, right? Now I've got CBDC, it's regulated money. Why shouldn't I, as a customer who's holding CBDC, be able to use this money to buy that NFT? And that's the pilot we tested with Australia. We took the CBDC, we wrapped those into Ethereum tokens, and we enabled a customer to be able to directly purchase an NFT with the CBDC. And the idea is pretty simple, right? You take it, you wrap it, you enable the purchase. But in the back end, this is where our network comes in. There's a bunch of scheme rules on the particular use case that we wrap together, and we bring it to this particular use case. That was one of the things. About 2 months ago, we announced the innovation sprint. Our multi-token network went into the beta version. We opened it up to ecosystem players. We accepted invitations, I think, for about 3 weeks. If I'm not wrong, we opened it up to participants in the UK. We had over 150 we had over 150 use cases that were submitted by Web3 players and financial institutions. So financial institutions that are looking to test this, just that they don't have means and the trust in the system to be able to do that. Now, out of these 150, we selected 14 different use cases. We took it through the innovation sprint. We're going to release the results very soon in a public report so that you can see what these 14 use cases were. But just to give you a bit of insight, there are use cases leveraging carbon credits, stable coins, public currencies. Think of any regulated means of value being exchanged on our network. And that's what we did with the multi-token network, leveraging everything that we've built so far in the last few years. And that would be all for now. Thank you.